Why do Christians eat pork and shellfish and any other kind of food for that matter? Because we can. If you're unaware of it, people think that, well, there's religions out there that don't allow people to eat pork and shellfish and all that kind of thing. And what they're going off of is the Old Testament in the Bible, where those foods were prohibited. I think they were prohibited at that time because God wanted the Jews to stand out from other nations. So he disallowed them from eating certain foods, for whatever reason. It had to do with the pigs or different animals, split hooves versus cloven hooves and all that kind of thing, and certain birds and, seafood and all that kind of stuff. Today's pastors, it's wacky. They will say, oh, well, we didn't know then what we know about the pig now. It's such a messy animal. Well, have you ever seen the conditions that cows are in? Oh my gosh, and chickens for that matter. They're all disgusting. And actually pigs, if given a clean environment and a chance to be clean, will remain clean. If you put them in a mud pit, they're going to be muddy. Same with dogs and cats and any other kind of animal. So that logic doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. There's even Christians out there now that say, oh, we say a special prayer before we eat pork and have it like blessed or something. Really? That's dumb. It's ridiculous. Don't believe any of that nonsense. There's no proof of any of that it makes any sense. But I wanted to give proof that the New Testament in the Bible, where Jesus says you can eat whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make you unclean. So if we look in, it's in a couple areas, but if we look in Mark chapter 7, verse 14. This is Jesus talking. He says to the crowd, listen to me, everyone, and understand this. Nothing outside a man can make him unclean by going into him. Rather, it is what comes out of a man that makes him unclean. Then he said it later on to the disciples too. He said, you still don't understand what I'm talking about? Don't you see that nothing that enters a man from the outside can make him unclean? For it doesn't go into his heart, but into his stomach and then out of the body. So, what comes out of a man is what makes him unclean, meaning, his words, his thoughts, theft, murder, adultery, sexual immorality, lewdness, envy, slander, and on and on and on. So, pretty self-explanatory. What Jesus is saying is it's not food that makes you unclean. It is what comes out of your mouth and your thoughts that make you unclean. So that dispels that. Christians are allowed to eat whatever they want, shellfish, pork. You can eat an eagle or a vulture if you want, but, I know we don't. So why do those other religions still cling on to that? Some Christian type religions and Muslims and all that. They're clinging to the Old Testament laws. It's stupid, But, the Bible also says not to offend your brother, meaning if you have a Muslim neighbor or a Muslim friend or something, you're having a picnic, try not to serve nothing but pork chops or bacon or ham or whatever. Anyway, that's it. It's just that simple. We can eat whatever we want because those laws do no longer exist. And Jesus, who is the Son of God, said so. There you go.